Hey everybody, this is JJ with the Obama Factor 727. Now, if you'd like to email me, you can email me at obamafactor727@gmail.com. Now, what I'd really like you to do is to like these videos, pass them around, um, you know, and just tell all your friends, neighbors, and strangers about them. Some pretty amazing things have happened in the last week and a half since I've made a video, but I wanted to bring you up on speed. One of the things I wanted to talk about, there's about 8 things, by the way, that I'd like to discuss on this short video. One is the new IRS rules. Well, they're actually not new, but they're new to us because they've just been exposed. The IRS can now become a partner in your business. And you might ask, hey, JJ, how's that? Well, let's say that you're an employer of 50 or more. And let's just say you have 55 employees. And you decide, because of a bad quarter or lack of production or whatever, for the next quarter, you're going to lay 5 of them off. Well, the IRS, because of the new rules in Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, can come in, review your firings, and decide whether or not it was justified. And if they decide that it's not justified, you have to hire them back and pay them back pay and pay for their medical insurance. Let me ask you a question. Where is the freedom in that? What is our country turning into? I mean, you guys, we need to wake up. We need to demand from our senators and congressmen to repeal this. I mean, or to repeal at least that section of Obamacare. Oh, by the way, Obamacare has been completely suspended. The majority of Obamacare has been suspended. Yep, you heard it here. Obama has now done 27 waivers so far, changing Obamacare, which, by the way, he has no authority to do that. And not one congressman is asking for an impeachment, which we have every right to do. So just to give you a little bit more information about the websites, Maryland's website, they spent $16 million on the website, doesn't work. Oregon spent $6 million on their website, doesn't work. The Obamacare website, the federal website, the Hispanic version doesn't work at all. Hundreds of millions of dollars have been spent on these websites nationwide with no effect. Remember, over 6 million people have lost their policies, only 3 million have signed up, and a majority of those have been those on Medicaid and Medi-Cal, or some sort of subsistence program, or subsidy, I should say. But anyway, the next thing I'd like to chat about just real briefly, the government, this is going to blow you away, the government is asking the states to go ahead and pay for the subsidies of those who have signed up for health care but have not been validated. So just go ahead and pay. Send in the money. No issue there. Just send it in, and life is good. And they'll just, balance it all out in the months to come. Remember, in the beginning when I talked about Obamacare, that the Office of Management and Budget said that it would cost an additional $10 billion to manage these websites. So to me, that sounds completely like graft. It's just, it's thievery. They're stealing tax dollars to pay off political appointees and government contractors. So, I mean, this is ridiculous. Hundreds and billions of dollars are being spent with no accountability, with no recourse of action when everything fails. So ask yourself, if you worked for a company and you lost them $1 million, but we're talking billions here, but you only lost them $1 million, you think they might fire you? You think as a CEO or president, if you lost $1 billion to a major corporation, they would probably let you go? I don't know, you guys. I just don't know. I'm trying to make rational sense of this. I just can't. I just can't. Well, as we know, Russia has invaded the Ukraine, Crimea especially, because that's where all the oil and gas pipelines go. And that is much of the natural gas and oil that goes to the European Union states. Now, we have enough natural resources here to supply pretty much the world if we were only allowed to tap into it and also build the resources to export our oil and gas. In fact, we are exporting oil and gas. Our imports are down. In fact, we have more oil and gas off Prudhoe Island, which is the northern part of Alaska, than all of Saudi Arabia. We could tell these people to drink their oil. We don't need it. But we have a government that won't pass, the Keystone Pipeline, that won't allow drilling, and shutting down coal burning plants, which are now perfected to a point that no emissions, sulfur emissions are, exposed to the air. So we have the technology to burn coal cleanly, but we have a government that chooses to shut those plants down, and we lose jobs. How many jobs have been lost, you might ask yourself, since Obamacare has come into effect? Well, I'm here to tell you millions of jobs have been lost, millions, and costs have gone up for millions. Some people, although, have saved money, but the majority have doubled their premiums and doubled their deductibles. Also, another point of interest, insurance brokers, because of Obamacare, are being put out of business. So there's some more lost jobs. The Obamacare budget is already over $1 trillion and will continue to rise. So each year, you guys, your healthcare cost is going to go up irregardless. One of the things that we can do to fix this is to allow insurance companies to sell nationwide, not to be confined by state rules. Some insurance companies, as I've stated before, control 90% of the healthcare coverage in any one state. So, again, it's just it's just a good old boy network. So we need to open up, have free enterprise, and let the private sector take care of, the healthcare needs of Americans. Now, again, I'll say this: we have so much natural resources. We could cover the cost of healthcare 10 times over if we would allow companies to explore, to drill, and then take a royalty off that, nationwide, to go directly to the taxpayers. So one of the last things I wanted to talk about is the Federal Reserve. Again, I want to make you aware of what they're doing. Again, they're spending anywhere from $60 to $70 billion of money that's created out of thin air, you guys, thin air. They order the Treasury to print so many bills. They pay pennies on the dollars for no matter what the denomination is for those bills, as far as covering the printing costs. And then they use those dollars that they print to buy government-backed bonds. And so they're printing an instrument that's worthless and buying a bond that pays interest. And then as a result of that, we as taxpayers pay the interest on the debt, which now represents 12% of our budget. So if we did not have a Federal Reserve, we would not have federal income taxes. 1913 is when it was passed, and that's when the IRS was created. And all our taxes do is pay the interest on the debt. You can check that fact out by Googling the Grace Report or binging the Grace Report. Read the first few pages, and you'll see that what I'm sharing with you is true. One of the things I'd like to leave with you, because it's almost 9 minutes, I try to keep these things under 10, is to listen to Alex Jones, research information on the Drudge Report, and Alex Jones is Infowars.com. Subscribe to my channel, the Obama Factor 727, and I'll give you tidbits of the news that has happened from time to time. Usually every other week I post a video when I get really upset. But when I heard about this IRS issue controlling companies, or having the ability to tell companies who they'd have to bring back on if they're just above 50, is insane. That's not freedom, folks. That's tyranny. We are living under a tyranny with Obamacare. And as I said, Obamacare is going to fail this year. It's already failed. It's failed, folks. He has postponed this thing until 2017, most of it. If he didn't postpone this last thing for companies with 50 employees or less, or more, I should say, tens of millions of people would have lost their policies before the election. The only reason why he's doing this is to try to save the Senate. The Democrats are going down in flames, and they know it. And they're doing everything they can to prevent Obamacare from being enacted. Again, just remember, 27 times he's changed the law with no authority whatsoever. But what surprises me most is there's not one congressman or senator that will stand up and say publicly that this is wrong and he needs to be impeached, with the emphasis he needs to be impeached. He's broken the law. I hope you find this entertaining to some degree, and I hope things get better. I don't think they will, but they do. This is JJ with the Obama Factor 727. Please shoot me an email. Let me know what you think, and I'll be seeing you on the flip side. I'm out.